Are you ready for your introduction?
Yes, I am. Give me 1 second. I bring this up. Okay.
So I don't
Yeah,
fall.
you're good. We are happy to have our speaker today. Jia Lin-Bothe is the Director of Family Empowerment at SchermCo Foundation, supporting all family empowerment initiatives with schools and nonprofit programs to strengthen family-school partnerships, improve school outcomes, and address socioeconomic disparities. In 2021, Gia earned her Master of Science in Education from Johns Hopkins University. She began her career in education as a Teach for America Corps member in Charlotte in 2018, where she always took an interest in her students' lives and family backgrounds. Gia has taught middle school math at both traditional public district and charter schools. Prior to entering the field of education, she earned her Bachelor of Architecture degree. I'm seeing a Martian nod her head, with a minor in urban studies from Woodbury University. She was also a Gilman International Scholar and spent a semester traveling throughout Japan. During her free time, she likes to experiment with Cantonese recipes. Gia, you are welcome to come to my home at any time, and serves on the board of directors for Huggaroo, a nonprofit organization delivering new stuffed animals to children who have experienced a life-threatening illness or traumatic event. And I wanted to say that Jenny and I have met Gia. We've spoken to her before and about SchermCo. But most importantly, SchermCo is a partner organization with our middle school, Sedgeville Middle School, and we are so grateful for their participation in that. So without any further ado, Gia, the floor is yours.
Well, thank you. Thank you for having me. And it's actually Gia, so I'm sorry. I might have said Gia when you guys asked me on the email, but my name is Gia. Thank you for having me. Is my presentation on the screen?
It is not, but you know what? Well, that's interesting. Did you share it? Does it?
Am I supposed to share my screen?
Oh, I'm so sorry. Did you send it to Jenny? Jenny, should I have
did.
that? Okay, I'll find it. Or if you have it handy, you can share your screen.
Okay, I will do that.
Or yeah, whoever can find it first, basically.
Oh, okay. Look at that. I can share. Yay.
Okay, cool. Okay, good deal. Sorry about that.
All good. Technology, right? So again, thank you all for having me. My name is Jia Lin-Bothe. I am the Director of Family Empowerment at SchermCo Foundation. And Sedgefield Middle School is one of the 18 schools we're currently supporting this year in Charlotte. So I'll talk more about that. Essentially, our family empowerment work started back in 2016, but over the last 3-4 years, we've been growing, as you can kind of see here. So this year, we're supporting 19 schools and a nonprofit with their family engagement, family empowerment efforts. Essentially, that means we're serving about 18,000 students and their families. So that's a lot. This is kind of like our motto and how we do our family empowerment work. So we really get with the school to understand, to make sure the schools know like what they're doing for family engagement. How do we then help them empower their families? We call our work data-driven family empowerment. So with the data piece, we send out surveys, and it's like 2 pages front and back. It's a long survey. It essentially tracks the family's perceptions, engagement, and confidence level at the school. And then it also asks them, hey, when's the best day for the school to have an event? When's the best time? What do you as a parent, caretaker need? What do your students need? From there, we do 3 to 4 events throughout the school year, focus on those needs. It may look like a resource fair. It may look like a sit-down event where we're partnering with Commonwealth Charlotte to do like a financial education night, or we're partnering with Goodwill to do a job training night. So just things like that. And then at the end of the year, we do another survey to see how these metrics have grown. And at these events, we have maybe about anywhere between 50 to like 300, 400 people attending per school. This is our social media if you ever want to say hi. This is just a picture from one of our events from, I want to say 2 years ago, just learning about credit scores. So there was a presentation at a school empowering families and students to learn more about credit, financial education, because that was one of the top things that families and students needed help with. So a little bit of a background here, family engagement, it's kind of a shared responsibility in which schools and other community agencies and organizations are committed to reaching out to engage families in meaningful ways, so that way families are committed to actively supporting their students' learning and development. So we know that when families are more involved, their students tend to come to school, they tend to have better attendance, and because of that, they have better academic outcomes. What we really try to do is called family empowerment, where we're equipping the parents, the caretakers, with skills and knowledge. That way they are engaged in effective partnerships to really support their students' achievement and then the school improvement. So some things that set us aside when we work with our schools, we really get them together and we do like professional development where different schools get to work with each other and share their insights, share best practices. I mentioned earlier, we do a lot of data collection. So we analyze pre and post surveys. We have exit tickets at every single one of our events. We also work with a lot of community organizations. I mentioned Commonwealth Charlotte and Goodwill earlier. So they're like vetted community partners within our local network. We try to invite community organizations that are within like the school's neighborhood. That way families really have access to those community organizations. Any questions for me? I know that was a breeze.
Let's see.
Yeah, how long have you guys been doing this?
I've been doing this for the last 3 years. But I know we've been doing this since 2016.
Okay.
Can you tell us what you're doing at Sedgefield?
Yeah, so with Sedgefield, it's a little bit different. Sedgefield is transitioning from like, they used to be a Title I school. They're not going to be a Title I school next year. So Title I means that a lot of the families and students there are low income. And we also see like that demographic changing, shifting within the Sedgefield neighborhood. We started partnering with Sedgefield 2 years ago to support their family engagement efforts. Since then, we've done different iterations of how we've been supporting them. So this year, we're actually helping them build out their gender-based mentoring programs for their students, because we see that the more affluent students have that mentorship through their parents or through another person in their household. But then when you're a little bit less fortunate, you tend to lack that mentor person. So we're really helping them build out those programs. Good question. All right, and how can Dilworth help us? So we have a lot of events, right? Like this year, we probably put together across our 20 different schools or organizations, we're doing 3 to 4 events. So that's like 80 different events. We have like at least 50, 100 people attending those events. So we definitely need help with signing people in, passing out food at those events. We rely a lot of our work on donations and grant money. So we're fortunate to be able to provide at any of our family focused events. We always have food for families because that's what draws the crowd out. We also provide lift codes for any families who have transportation barriers so that they can really come to the school for those events. And then, of course, your capacity, your partnership would help us tremendously.
Do you do these on the weekend too? Go ahead.
Go ahead. She said, go ahead.
Okay. Do you only work in Charlotte, Mecklenburg, and do you contract with CMS, or do you also serve other school systems?
Good question. So we're with mostly Title I schools because it's a little bit easy, because that's like what the work entails. We are with a lot of CMS schools, but we also work with charter schools and lab schools. So it doesn't have to be a CMS school. We're open to any school with, the principal has to have that mindset of like, yeah, we want to work together. We care about our families. And that's how we start supporting them. So if any one of you guys know any schools that may need our help, let me know, because I would love to, as we're expanding into next school year, we hope to be at least 25 schools in the Charlotte area. So if you have any schools in your network that may benefit from this, please let me know.
Shannon has or works, Shannon, tell her what you do, because you may want to partner with them and, helping some of the parents.
I'm with Charlotte Speech and Hearing Center. We work within a lot of child development centers, pre-K centers, not CMS sites. So we don't have our own collection of students. We go to them. So that's why I was curious.
Got it. Yeah, we're hoping to partner with some like MEC pre-K sites next year. So right now we're supporting schools that are pre-K to 12, but hoping to expand into early childhood schools or sites.
Okay. Let me know if you do that.
Are you primarily in middle school or elementary school?
All of the above, elementary schools, middle schools, high schools, K-8 schools.
Are any of your events over the weekend? Because our Impact Club can only really volunteer on the weekends or in the evenings.
So a lot of our events happen to be Thursdays at like 6, because that's the time that families like to show up to their schools. Sometimes they're on Saturdays, but mostly it's Thursdays, Fridays, and it's in the evening because a lot of these families, they work.
That might work.
Yeah.
So, Gia, one of the things that we're going to be doing next year, and you know a little bit about this already, is we're going to be working with Title I schools kind of throughout our 14 county districts. We will probably have, once we know who those schools are going to be, because we're going to be working with them on distributing shoes to students, 1,000 pair of shoes in those Title I schools. Once we know who those schools are, I'll be happy to share that information with you once we have clubs that have partnered up with those schools.
Yeah, for sure. And then maybe we can like partner and come up with some ideas of like how we could distribute shoes maybe at some these family events, since their families are already going to be there, or even as an incentive for families to show up for these events.
Yes.
Any other questions?
Well, I'd like to thank Jia for telling us about her organization. And if you were here, we would have given you a bag from us, but you're not here.
Yeah, Jenny was telling me about that. Thank you all so much for having me and for engaging with me, even though I'm just on Zoom.
Yeah, she couldn't come today because her car got hit, so it's in the shop.
All right, moving on, we do the raffle. Do we have the raffle? And we'd ask Nicole to pick our winning ticket.
Oh, pick our winning ticket. I don't know if you put this up. I have a special project. Last three digits. 310. 310.
Ah, all right. Okay, moving on.
Who won?
All right.
So you're
Standing up because otherwise you won't be see me.
Today is David's 50-year anniversary as a Rotarian. And perfect attendance. Now we're going to actually celebrate his anniversary at the picnic that Marcia talked about on the 17th. So that's when we will officially recognize him and
50 years.
And ask for another.
Yeah.
1974, a lot was different in 1974.
You couldn't even come to a meeting looking like that.
Huh?
You couldn't come to a meeting.
I couldn't come to a meeting like this.
Wow.
We're coaching ties every single day. We'll try.
Me too.
Everybody. Something's changed. Imagine leaving.
Yeah, no women allowed.
Now it's majority women.
All right. Moving on, I'd like to thank our guest, Nicole, again, and you're welcome back, and hopefully you'll join us. And also Jia, if she'd come and join us at some point, we'd love to have you. And now for the four-way test, I'm actually going to share my screen. So.
Thank you for doing
All right. So for the four-way test of all the things we say or do, first, is it true? Second, is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned?
Thank you guys online. I hope that wasn't giving you nausea.
It's a free roller coaster ride. I'll take that.
There you go. Thank you, Gia. We'll let you know.
Of course. Thank you. I'm sorry about the parking. We'll figure it out. There you go. There you go. Yeah. Okay.
I like your texture.
Okay. Let me can I email you about that? Because I wonder if I can get like a microphone that connects to my computer, like a Bluetooth microphone that can that we can pass a microphone around. And then that way we don't risk like dropping somebody's phone. Does that work? That's my idea. I'm getting a little workout in. Yeah.
I think we could get off now.
Thank you again so much.
Thank you, Gia. We'll see you at Sedgefield.
Thank you.
All right.
Bye.
I just want to make one announcement. I am, for people who are volunteering for Dilworth Jubilee, I will send out an email next week sometime and to maybe have a short meeting because it's in 2 weeks and we just have to button down a few things. So yeah, I'll be sending 18th.
Saturday.
But the 17th is the Friday in the Park.
Oh.
So our impact members
it's the picnic.
completely reached for the picnic in the park, sorry.
Yeah.
So our impact members There's a couple of them that were getting those. Did
Ah.
that one?
Me too.
And they're both in the same place.
So that, and then.
Oh, I think it's just online. We can post this.
Okay.
But they're getting barbecue. If they were having like our regular